Hello and welcome to this lecture, and in this lecture we are going to learn how to actually read from a particular file using a Python code. So in the previous lecture we have learned how to open up a file and close a file, and in between this open and close operation we actually have to perform the operations which we want to do on the file. So for the sake of this tutorial we are going to read some data from the file. So if we open up our file demo.txt, as you could see there is absolutely nothing in this file. So let's type in some simple text. So let's say that this is the first line, and let's say this is the second line. So right now we have two lines of text in the demo.txt file, and this is just the demo text, but in reality when you are writing some Python code, it is going to have some data related to your code. So now once we have this text in the file, let's go ahead and learn how to read a file. So the very first thing which you need to take care of is that whenever you are going to read a file, you need to mention the mode as the read mode. So we are going to replace this W by R. And now once the file is opened up in the read mode, we actually need to read the contents of the file. Now reading the contents of a file is extremely simple. You just need to type in file, and remember that we have assigned a name as file, so I'm using that name everywhere. So we type in file.read. So read is basically a simple function which is going to read out the content from a particular file, but the thing is that after reading the content it actually needs to save its content somewhere. So we are going to save that content in some random variable. So let's type in a variable called as content, and we type in content equals file.read. So now essentially what is going to happen is that it is going to open up a file in a read mode. It is going to read the content from the file, and it is going to actually save the content which is read into the content variable. Now we simply need to print out the content. So we type in print content. So now if you save the code and if you actually run this code, but before running the code, make sure that you actually save this demo.txt file and only then you run the code. So if you run this code now, as you could see, we actually got the result as the content of the file demo.txt. So that's how you basically read content from your file by using the read function. And what you could do is that you could also pass in a parameter to your read function. Now what I mean by that is that you could specify actual number of bytes which you want to read from your file. So right now we have not passed in any value to the read function. And let's say you want to read only 10 bytes from a particular file. So you could specify 10 here. So if you save the code now and if you run it, as you could see, you are going to get only 10 bytes of data from that file. So you could also specify the number of bytes which you need to read from a particular file. And also one more operation which I want to tell you guys is about the read line operation. So let's say instead of reading the entire file, you actually need to read only a single line from it. So the function in that case which we use is going to be the read line function. So here we are going to simply change this thing to read line, and that is actually going to read a single line for us. So if we save the code and if we run it, as you could see, we only got the result as the first line. So that's how you basically read some data from your text file using Python. So this was the second lecture in file handling. So we have learned how to open up a file, how to close a file, and how to perform the read operation on the file. So in the next lecture, we are going to learn how to perform the write operation in a file, wherein instead of writing the lines manually, we are actually going to write some text to this file by using the Python code. So thank you very much for watching this lecture, and I'll see you guys in the next lecture. Thank you.